Hello and happy Friday, Design Studies 10 students. It was so great to get to talk to a few of you in our virtual classroom meetings this week. And thank you to those that submitted via discussion posts. That's great as well. I understand not everyone can hop into those virtual classrooms all the time with everyone's schedule being so different. But it's good to see, those of you that are participating in this work. I think it's an opportunity for you to do something a little bit more meaningful with your time and think about ways that you can change what's going on around you and affect your lives positively, or maybe the lives of others as well. So I just want to give you a quick overview of the next steps for those of you that weren't in the virtual classrooms. Next week, I won't schedule any kind of virtual classroom meetings until later in the week, and maybe not even until the week after, just because this video is coming out so late. And I want to give you time to really focus on this next step. So the next step, let's take a look in the workbook and we'll see what we're working with. So you've already completed the first page, thinking of some issues, settling on one, giving a brief outline of the project, and either in the virtual classroom or sometime this weekend, if you submitted a discussion post, I gave some feedback, some ideas, mostly talking around a little bit more consideration around what are the constraints. So this is really like, what are the rules? What are the parameters? What do you have to work within? What are some things you need to consider? So next step is understand that challenge a little bit more deeply. So the needs of the user. What is actually needed out of this project specifically? So we've got a big picture, that's kind of the problem, but what are the actual needs? What are the features? You might already have an idea of some skills or knowledge that you might need in order to tackle this. So just think about what those things are. Like, you already know that it's going to be something to do with electronics or wood. What skills and knowledge do you already have in relation to those concepts? And what's something that you already know, like, if I'm going to be going down this road, I'm probably going to need to learn more about this concept. And how are you going to figure that stuff out? So if you're thinking about it's something that you're going to build out of wood, and your mom or your dad is quite skilled with carpentry, you can put that in. That's your plan for acquiring the skills and knowledge that you need. You're going to access that resource. Maybe it's something that that you can find a tutorial on YouTube or on lynda.com. Maybe it's something that you're just going to have to talk to some friends about or search some forum posts about. Whatever it is, if you have an inkling of that. And then this one's very important. Who are some potential users that you could get feedback from? So if it's something for yourself, you're going to be your source of feedback, but think about if there's anyone else that you know that you can get in contact with that could also benefit from this project or would have an opinion on this project. And just write those people down just so that you kind of are already thinking about, once I get a prototype or something ready to test, who am I going to go talk to and bounce this idea off of? Now, you could also put me in there too. I'd love to be seeing your ideas as they go. And feel free to drop me a line anytime with, hey, here's some quick sketches. What do you think? Or jump in my office hours, even better, 2 till 3, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So once you have a bit more of a deeper understanding of the challenge, next is the ideation and brainstorming phase. We've talked about this so much in class, but I will go over it once again. Remember, the critical part here is coming up with as many ideas as possible. You've already been thinking on this project for like 2 weeks now, so it's likely you already have some solution settled into your mind about how you're going to approach this. That's fine. That's normal. You've been thinking about this for a couple weeks. But what I want you to do is, step 1, okay, write that solution down here in this document. But then try to put that idea aside and think about any other possible ways of tackling this problem. Think simple ideas, practical, straightforward ideas, and also those crazy ideas that like you think, oh, that'll never work, or that's like science fiction. It's still worthwhile putting it down there. Not only does it show me that you have the capacity for that creative and abstract thinking, but you never know what road that idea is going to lead you down, and it might lead you to some solution that isn't so crazy. So do write them down there. And that's all I'm asking for you to do this week. When we meet next, I don't have the date settled yet. I'll announce that in the D2L. But when we meet next, whether it's in virtual classroom or you just post this in the discussion posts, what I just want to see is, what are your ideas? And we'll talk through them. And, if anyone else is in the virtual class, they might put their ideas in too, and we can talk back and forth and bounce some things around, and then will be time to actually start trying to make something. So we'll talk more about the prototyping and testing phase next week sometime, or potentially the week after. If you want to start kind of tinkering around and making some rough sketches or some rough ideas, you can go for it. But don't worry too much about being really formal about documenting it and following a process just yet. It's fine if you want to get started on something though. Okay, that's all for me this week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sun, wear sunscreen, stay in the shade, get out into the garden, have a good time. See you next week.